Hello and welcome to the Chairboys, your source for everything Wycombe Wanderers related. Casting his expert eye over proceedings today will be our pundit commentator Keith Higgins. Keith, welcome to the show.
Hi Alex, good to be here.
5 goals at Adams Park this weekend as Wycombe hosted a Doncaster team who are in form and harbouring serious promotion ambitions. Let's go over to the highlights of what turned out to be a minor classic.
Welcome to Adams Park for today's League One match between Wycombe Wanderers and Doncaster Rovers. It's Doncaster Rovers in the predominantly red kit, kicking off, taking the goal to our left. Coming on the back of this game after an excellent 3-1 win away at Preston North End in the FA Cup last Saturday. Wycombe on the back of 4 successive defeats over the Christmas period. They've made 4 changes for today's game, and one of them is the man taking the throw-in now, Joe Jacobson. Having a bit of friendly banter, I think, there with the fans, just as the game got going. Oh, bit of a mistake there. Nearly a chance. It was Andy Butler, who made the mistake, but Danny Andrew tidying up for him. Wycombe with the throw-in. Tracy McCarthy. Clumsy challenge there by Benjamin Whiteman on Nathan Tyson. Free kick to Wycombe. Really no point in making such a challenge out there. Jacobson short to Bloomfield. Crosses deflected. Headed in by Jacobson. Just about cleared by the Doncaster defence. Nice flick on there by Bloomfield. Tyson round the back. Just overhit it slightly. Was stretching. Paris Cowan Hall will keep the ball in. Oh, that was a strong challenge there by Danny Andrew. Quite fair though. But a sort of challenge just to let him know he was there. Nice reverse ball by Bloomfield. McCarthy appealing for handball. Not sure that it was. I think Andrew just turned his back there. Corner to Wycombe. Jacobson to take it. Short again. Wycombe seem to like the short corners today. Gate with a shot. And that was deflected by Marquis coming back to help his defence. See how close that was. Dominic Gape on his left foot. Went over the bar, but I think you find that Marquis' deflection actually put it more towards the goal than away. Whiteman. Well intercepted by Jacobson. Nice feet there by Freeman. Finds McCarthy. Cowan Hall is inside the penalty. Curling it for the far corner and a good save by Lawler. Just tipped it over the bar. Paris Cowan Hall, no goal since October, but not far off the mark there. Another short corner by Wycombe, and this one comes to nothing, and it's a chance for the break here for Doncaster. It was Dominic Gape who lost the ball there. Great chance here. He's put wide. It's Matty Blair. And I think you'll find it was Dominic Gape trying to atone for his error, who put the pressure on Blair there. Or might have got his foot on it. Either way, corner. Linesman Lisa Rashin just making sure the ball's in the quadrant. Bit of a scramble, but I think Wycombe should clear it through Paris Cowan Hall, and he does. Dangerous just pass for a minute. We can see here Wycombe just struggling a little bit, but in the end cleared it quite well. Good run by Whiteman, good cross. Sidon Batty struggling to clear it. McCarthy with the header. Good shot stop there. I think it was Ali Crawford with the shot that easily dealt with by goalkeeper also. Nice flick on by Cowan Hall, and I think he got a bit of a push in the back there by Andrew. So free kick taken by Jacobson. Which Lawler didn't deal with very well, but actually redeems himself, and a very quick throw out gives Doncaster a chance to break quickly. And a chance for Marquis into the penalty area. Got John Batty for company. And that's going to be good defending there by Wycombe, particularly John Batty. Marquis putting the ball out for a goal kick. Andrew. Whiteman. Marquis looking for the long shot there, but well wide. Top goal scorer in League One this season, looking to add to his tally, but not there. A little bit lax there by the defence. Chance for Tyson. Turns. Shots blocked by the defence. Wycombe still have the pressure. Good play there by Karen Hall to keep the pressure on. And he's got the ball now just outside the penalty area. Gets the cross in. Headed clear by the defence. Picked up by McCarthy. Wycombe still with the pressure. Gape. Back to McCarthy. Quick flick to Freeman. Cross is deflected. It's going to fall to Curtis Thompson just outside the penalty area, looking for his first goal for Wycombe, and ball was deflected away for another Wycombe corner. Freeman did well there. The cross looped off the defender. Slightly headed clear by Blair, but not far enough. Thompson not far away there. Half an hour gone, goalless here at Adams Park. Elab up for the header there, but I think he had 4 defenders around him. Ball goes wide for a goal kick. Ball's going to be cleared by McCarthy. Find its way to Crawford, who, I think in football parlance, finds row Z with that shot high and wide over the bar. McCarthy breaking forward as he always does for Wycombe. Good cross, just about cleared. It's going to fall to Freeman, but he gets himself in a tangle there. And the ball might have gone out for the corner, but Nick Freeman looking for his first goal of the season, getting a good run in the Wycombe side, playing well today, but just got himself in a tangle, but managed to win the corner for Wycombe. Long one this time by Bloomfield. Alab with a header, and Tyson couldn't quite get on the end of it. Picked up under the bar by Lawler. Freeman wins the ball. Nice ball inside to Bloomfield. Nice 1-2s between Bloomfield and Freeman. Back to Freeman, very influential today. Thompson. Nice move by Wycombe. Good turn by Dominic Gabe. On his weaker left foot, fires the ball over the bar, but good move there by Wycombe, very patient. But in the end, Dominic's Gabe shot too high. Bit of a late challenge by Crawford there on Dominic Gabe. I think Gabe's okay. Free kick for Wycombe. Just about dealt with by the defence as referee blows his whistle for half time. Goalless here at Adams Park, and the nearest to a goal was Paris Cowan Hall. Shot that was going into the far corner, tipped over the bar by the keeper. Matt Bloomfield on the ball. Jacobson with the cross. Cleared by the defence. Balls to Curtis Thompson. Shot blocked by his own player, Paris Cowan Hall, but it's still with Thompson. Good play. Will he get the shot in? He does, just over the bar. Great play there by Curtis Thompson. Become a real fan's favourite here at Wycombe, and still looking for his first goal. Freeman. Tyson. Good cross, just about dealt with by the defence. It was Andrew at the back post, heading forward by Cowan Hall. McCarthy trying to come in there, but it's going to be headed clear. Chance for Doncaster to break. Coppinger. Long ball forward. Oh, Wilkes has got round the back of Alab. Has Allsop done enough to stop him? He has. Malik Wilkes there. Just falls wide and hit the side netting. Let off for Wycombe. Ball's in midfield, flicked on, and Coppinger hasn't quite controlled the ball. Can he get his shot in? He can, but blazes it over the bar. Managed to get a foot in front of John Batty and Jacobson did, Coppinger, but his right foot shot was high and wide. Andrew with the clearance. Nice flick on. It's been blocked, and chance for Marquis to break forward. He's got Wilson in the penalty area. Wilson with a great chance, and he's put it wide. Second chance for Wilkes in this game. That one got stuck under his feet a bit, but nevertheless, great chance. Doncaster probing and pressing. Chance for them to get the ball across, and it was Andrew who got the ball in there, and a combination of Jacobson and Allsop just did enough to block the ball there. Goes out for a corner to Doncaster, still goalless. Allsop misses the corner, but Wycombe should be able to clear it. McCarthy out of position, number 26. We're going to get to right back if he can. Ball's cut out by our lad. Oh, poor clearance. Weidman, Coppinger. Will he find Marquis? He will. And Marquis opens the scoring. Perfect ball by Coppinger. And John Marquis with his 15th goal of the season, top goal scorer in EFL League One. Knew exactly where to put the ball there, outside of his right foot, across Allsop. Doncaster get the lead. Wycombe 0, Doncaster 1. Marcus's 15th goal of the season, prolific season for him. Cowan Hall tries to get the ball across, another corner for Wycombe. Jacobson to take it, and I think I hit the corner of the bar and post there, but it stayed out. Freeman. Nice turn, and he's got Gate for support if he needs him. Gate back to Freeman. Chance for Freeman to curl a shot, which is only just over the top of the bar and post. Good chance there. Mick Freeman still looking for his first goal, and not too far away with that right foot curler. Wilkes on the ball. Jacobson trying to stop him, get the cross in. He's got a bit of space, and he has got the cross in. Marquis at the far post keeps the ball in play. Rowe must score, and he does. Doncaster's second goal on 70 minutes. And his captain Tommy Rowe there. Wycombe didn't seem to know what to do when Marquis got the ball on the byline. Great play by Wilkes to get that space. Marquis keeping the ball in play there, looking up, seeing Rowe. And the promotion chasing side now, 2 up with 20 minutes left there at Adams Park. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Tommy Rowe's third league goal of the season. Wycombe trying to find an opening, and Jacobson's got a bit of space. Outside to Freeman, back to Jacobson, first time shot. Another shot that goes not only over the bar but out of the ground. Missed kick by Rowe. There's a chance here for Cowan Hall. Cowan Hall strikes it and he scores. 13 minutes left. Wycombe have a goal back. Wycombe Wanderers 1, Doncaster Rovers 2, and it's Paris Cowan Hall, his first league goal since October. Good right foot shot there. Mistake by Rowe, but he pounced on it. Good shot, didn't have much to aim at. Goal back for Wycombe. 13 minutes left. Wycombe Wanderers 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. Freeman does well to keep the ball in play. Jacobson does well, shakes off Rowe. Onto his right foot. Can he do better this time? No, he can't. Skews it well wide. He did score with his right foot against Shrewsbury earlier this season, but that one was always going wide. Couple of minutes left. Doncaster looking for the third goal that would effectively seal their win. Whiteman with the chance. Good shot, but straight at Allsop, who deals with it. Nobody following up so he can parry the ball. Good game Whiteman's had today. Cowan Hall finds Thompson. Thompson trying to find a bit of space. Gets a shot in and scores! His first goal for Wycombe on 34 appearances. And he rifled that right foot shot. He hasn't been far away today. And in the last minute, a dramatic equaliser. It's 2-2 here at Adams Park. Ball's going to fall in midfield. Cowan Hall, was that a handball there by Whiteman? I think there was. Free kick for Wycombe. Jacobson. Akinfenwa was being held there, but Cowan Hall heads it into the net. And in the 4th minute of added time, Wycombe stolen a dramatic victory. 2 down with 13 minutes left. Paris Cowan Hall with the first goal. Curtis Thompson with the second, and that header, sublime header by Paris Cowan Hall, after the free kick by Jacobson caused all sorts of problems in the defence. Crowd urging the referee to blow his final whistle. Gareth Ainsworth on the side there, gesticulating. The referee looks at his watch and he does blow the final whistle. And what a comeback. Not for the first time this season. Wycombe have come back from 2 goals down. Wycombe Wanderers 3, Doncaster Rovers 2.
That was a great result. What did you make of the performance?
Yeah, the first half we played really well. Second half, 10 minutes where we gave them a chance, and that really lifted their spirits. I thought that Doncaster, you know, they took advantage of our lapse in defence. But then at 2-0 down, you know, we've dug deep, we've come back, and the character the boys have shown is unbelievable today. And after 4 defeats and looking 2-0 in the face against one of the form teams in the league, it's a fantastic achievement to win the game today. So really pleased.
5 games without a win before today. Were you concerned about the recent run of results before the game?
Of course, I'm the manager of the club. You know, it's you're judged on results. I always say judge me on performance, and I thought in majority of the times performance was good enough today. But silly mistakes we're going to have to work hard on. But we've got that much needed win today, which is important.
Definitely a game of 2 halves. You must be thrilled with that comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were good in the first half. You know, people will say the second half was a great performance, but I thought we were better in the first half. You know, so that's my job to see that way and see things that way. But the goals count, and goals change games. And 3-2, great result. But yeah, I thought we were quite good for long periods today.
And the fans were calling for a penalty later on. What did you think of the decision?
I have to watch that again. I didn't see, you know, I can't see that far. But the fans will call for everything, and that's why I love them so much. They're Wycombe through and through, and they've helped with the win today.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
So Keith, what a game! This absolutely incredible comeback from Wycombe Wanderers there. Now, my overriding impression of that game is that when you have a result like that, where a team comes back in the last few minutes, it tends to get referred to as kind of a smash and grab kind of result, that maybe they were a little fortunate. But for me, it was a very even game. Wycombe dominated the first half without really creating any chances.
I think you're absolutely right there, Alex, and certainly the first half I thought Wycombe were by far the better side, and although they didn't create, as you said, many opportunities, just that one shot from Paris Cowan Hall, and we're wondering whether it was meant to be a shot or a cross, but looking at it again, I'm pretty certain he was trying to go for the top corner. Great save by Ian Lawler. But no, the first half, Wycombe really did create some, or certainly played some really good football, and you know, certainly were a little unlucky not to be in front at half-time.
Is that a little symptomatic of their season, the having a lot of possession in the final third without really working the opposition keeper, would you say?
At times, certainly, yes. You feel that they haven't created as much as they have. They obviously didn't have Adebayo Akinfenwa, who was on the subs bench to start with, and sometimes they tend to play a lot through him, but they do seem to create a little bit more, certainly a bit more threat up front when he is on fire, and when he's on fire, he's a very difficult player to hold. So they weren't really creating quite as much as I thought they ought to have done in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this level, you need a big physical presence in the penalty area, and Akinfenwa gives you that more than most players in this country, I would say.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So moving on to the second half, and well, Wycombe came out and they were a little bit sloppy in the opening 20 minutes of the second half. Some defensive lapses crept in, would you say?
I think so. They really didn't come out in that second half as strong as they did in the beginning of the first half. And although you didn't see it on the highlights, there were 2 or 3 chances Doncaster had that they should have actually taken the lead before they got the opening goal from John Marquis. And yes, it was unfortunate. Adam Alab, who's been a real stalwart at the back for Wycombe, gave a very careless pass. But let's give credit to James Coppinger. I thought the way in which he quickly looked up, saw John Marquis running into the penalty area. Marquis knew exactly where to go. And no surprise, that's 20 goals for Marquis this season. He's been really on fire, and a bit of a surprise, I have to say. He's been around quite a few clubs, but at the moment, certainly the top striker in League One. Yeah,
I don't think he would have featured in many people's top scorer bets at the beginning of the season if you're a gambling person. The second goal, again, a defensive lapse. I think Wycombe maybe thought the ball had gone out of play, switched off a bit. Would you say that that was the case?
I think so. Again, a little bit of credit to Malik Wilkes. It was a really good deep cross and teased Jason McCarthy enough, who you might have seen coming sliding across but couldn't make the interception. But certainly Sido John Batty in particular obviously thought the ball was going out of play, but Marquis did very well, kept the ball in play. Because of his experience, he knew he had time to look up. And Tommy Rowe might have been his first touch, only just come on as substitute, but a perfect pass, he couldn't miss. And there's Wycombe, who have been dominating most of the first half. Remind people, they lost their previous 4 games. Actually, they were 2 up against Gillingham in the game before these 4 and drew 2-2. So for 4.5 games, they have been totally out of form, and they must have thought, here's another defeat coming up, as they went 2-0 down with 20 minutes to go.
I was going to say, is that kind of psychological in a game when you have dominated the first half but failed to take advantage, that when it gets to the second half, you think, this might not be our day, and that's when things like those 2 goals sort of start to sneak in?
Well, what you need then, Alex, is you need something to turn. You need the crowd to get behind you. You just need that little spark. And fortunately, 7 minutes later, Paris Cowan Hall provided that spark. And I think, without any shadow of a doubt, that was such a key turning point in the game.
You do need something to galvanise you, and it was an incredible finish based on his position and the fact that he had to bring the ball down, hitting it through a crowd of players. I mean, that's a kind of, it's a Premier League level finish for me.
Yes, slight mistake I think you find by Tommy Rowe, the captain, who just scored the second goal for Doncaster, sort of inadvertently played the ball into Paris Cowan Hall. But you're absolutely right. I mean, it was almost like there was a channel. Yeah. And he only had that channel to fire the ball in. But once he let go, it was unstoppable, a perfect strike. And I think that just lifted the crowd, it lifted Wycombe. They suddenly thought, yes, we've got a chance now. And as I said, such a key turning point in the game.
Yeah, he really threaded the needle with that strike. Now, for Wycombe's equaliser, will you think that the Doncaster goalkeeper will be disappointed in his defence? Because obviously the ball's on the edge of the area. Wycombe have a couple of players who like to hit it from there, and it looks to me like the lads had all the time in the world to line up the shot. And you can see in the replays that the Doncaster goalkeeper's not happy with his defence for not closing it down.
Ian Lawler, the goalkeeper, was absolutely livid. Having said that, I thought he might have made an attempt at it. It seemed to me he just stood there wanting to sort of let rip at his defence. But let's give Curtis Thompson credit. He just signed a new contract for Wycombe. He was only taken on, he was on loan last season, didn't really feature that much. And then a bit of a surprise when he joined the club on a very short-term contract. He actually was due to finish at the end of December. But he's broken through into the first team, and Gareth Ainsworth rewarded him with a 2-year contract. And what a way to repay him. And it's his first goal for Wycombe. I think he's had 34 appearances. And what a strike. Yes, he had plenty of time to do it. As you said, the defender seemed to lay off him. But he certainly hit that ball with tremendous power and placed it so well. That's probably why Lawler didn't dive for it, because it was right in the corner. Superb strike.
Excellent. And finally, the winner, a dramatic late winner, came from a bit of a goalmouth kerfuffle. Had the ball not gone in, I think Akinfenwa had a good case for a penalty, because he was being manhandled all over the place by the Doncaster defence. But luckily, Paris Cowan Hall has come up again. He's shown fantastic opportunism there, a great awareness of where the goal is and what he needs to do to get the ball from where he is to the goal. A really fantastic header, but considering the circumstances of where he was.
A lot of things in that last goal, if you analyse it, Alex. I mean, first of all, great free kick by Joe Jacobson. You know, it's the last, well, it's the 4th minute of added time. So you want to put the ball where it's going to cause problems, i.e. in the penalty area. And Joe Jacobson's got a wonderful left foot, and he put the ball where it was going to cause problems. And the problems were that Akinfenwa clearly, to me, was being held by probably the central defender. He clearly was being manhandled, and I think Trevor Kettle, the referee, was having to think, hey, I've got a hell of a decision to make here. Also, Ian Lawler sort of came at it, but sort of flattered it a bit. So there was that vacuum there behind the goal. So let's now give credit to Paris Cowan Hall. As the ball bounces up, he's static, because obviously he's waiting to see where the ball comes. And as you said, the technique that he needed, because he had to strain his neck back, had to put a reasonable amount of power on it, which is not easy from a standing start, but also to place the ball again into that same corner where Curtis Thompson got the goal. Take my hat off to Paris Cowan Hall. He's just got back into the side. He's played second fiddle to one of the lone players, Fred Ondidimma, but he's gone back to Millwall now. So Paris Cowan had his first opportunity to get back into the side today. As far as I'm concerned, he took it with both hands, and real credit to him for that winning goal.
It's always good when, at this level, if you lose a player who's been on loan, goes back to his parent club or goes elsewhere, it's good to have a ready-made replacement in there. And it looks like Paris Cowan Hall is that replacement that Wycombe really needed.
He's been with the club quite some time. He's, if you talk to Gareth Ainsworth, he'd always say he's one of his favourite players, and you can see why. Unfortunately, he left the club to Millwall a few years ago, broke his leg, and I don't think he's been quite the same player when he's been back at Wycombe, and you can understand that. But he's still got he's always been a great header of the ball, and he certainly showed that with that winning goal. And he's still got some trickery. Didn't show it in the highlights, but once or twice he certainly showed ability to beat defenders, and also that strike that got Wycombe back in the game. Such a clinical finish.
Thanks very much, Keith. Just one final thing. You talked earlier about the result against Gillingham being a bit of may have psychologically caused a bad run in the club. Do you think that this will now galvanise the squad? This is the kind of result you need to really turn things around, and maybe they can go on and sort of get themselves back into contention that they may have lost over the previous weeks.
I think this result at the end of the season will be seen to be a key turning point in making sure Wycombe stay as a League One side. I mean, that's their target. And don't say this to Gareth Ainsworth. He has got a points target. He doesn't like it if we mention it. But we know they're aiming to get somewhere between 52 and 55 points. That's their first achievement. Well, you know, when you've had 4 defeats and you drop 2 points against Gillingham when you really should have won, you begin to think, are we ever going to get another point? Well, 13 minutes to go on Saturday, I think they're probably thinking, another defeat coming up. No, they didn't. They turned it round, and I think they will certainly build on that. And I think at the moment I feel quite confident that, you know, not going to say they're going to get in the playoffs at all, but at the moment, mid-table is certainly a very achievable target for them, and that would be a hell of an achievement for a small club like Wycombe.
Well, after the game, we caught up with Wycombe's number 3, Joe Jacobson, and he had a few things to say about the season so far and a great result for the Chairboys.
Obviously a great performance tonight. How do you think about the comeback?
Showed great character. I think after the run we've been on, you know, losing 4 in a row, going 2-0 down against a team who are as in form as Doncaster have been the last few weeks and playing really good football. It showed a lot of character for us to get back into it, and you know, we had a game plan today. We were solid, and I think a few long balls caused us problems which haven't been dealing with too well today. But you know, to get the first goal back, the second goal back, and then to still go for the winner at the end was credit to the boys, still believing, and in the end it's a great result.
Yeah, obviously it was a hard game today. Promotion last season, obviously a great time for the club. Do you always expect this season to be a little bit harder?
Yeah, definitely. It's always the case when whatever team you're at, if you get promoted, you're taking a step up a level. There's better teams, there's better quality of players, and you make mistakes and players hurt you like they did today. So it's up to us to carry on learning about these and limiting the opportunities we're given to the opposition teams. And you know, today masks a lot because of the victory, and we know we made a few mistakes at the start of the second half, which gifted them a couple of goals, and we've got to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But it's all about learning. We find ourselves in a decent position in the league. You know, if anyone said this to us at the start of the season where we're going to be, then we would have taken it. So there's huge positives to take. Scoring 3 goals at home, which you know we struggled to score last few weeks, is also another positive, and hopefully now we can kick on again.
It must be great to get a win after obviously losing in a row, having those home games as well. Had such a good form at home earlier on in the season, and losing that in the most recent games, it must be great to get the win again. Yeah,
definitely. The home form's what's kept us where we're at in the league this season. So for us to get back to winning ways here is huge. We just need to, you know, keep picking up points away from home, and we'll be fine. But you know, when we start doing well at home and the fans get behind us, the ball kind of gets sucked into the goal, which is awesome for the boys. And today we managed to give the supporters something to cheer about after a tough few weeks, and hopefully they'll come back again and we can give them some more performances like that.
So Joe Jacobson there, Keith, he was obviously very upbeat after the result. He did make a very good point, though, I thought, about about a win like that masking a few problems and having to be aware of the problems. It's, you know, when you come back from 2-0 down to win 3-2, the immediate reaction is, oh yes, fantastic, 3 points when we didn't think we were going to get any. But then you also have to think to yourself, okay, how did we end up 2-0 down. Yes, Doncaster are one of the better teams in the league, but there certainly does paper over a few cracks that need to be addressed, wouldn't you say?
Joe Jacobson, Alex, is had the privilege of interviewing quite a few times, and he's a very level-headed, very mature guy. And his response is exactly what I would expect, that, you know, they had a good first half. They need to think about why they were so poor for 25 minutes. As we mentioned earlier, didn't we, that as well as the 2 goals, there were 2 or 3 very good chances that Doncaster had. So it was no surprise that they were 2 up with 20 minutes to go. So they mustn't allow the euphoria, and there's bound to be the euphoria. A number of times Joe mentioned about the character of the team, which is brilliant. And obviously a win like that, you think, you know, wow, you know, it's lifted the fans, lifted the club. But he's absolutely right. And I'm sure the management team and the players will just look at that 25 minutes and think, why did we let Doncaster have so many chances, including the 2 goals that they took?
How beneficial is it to have somebody like that in the dressing room, in the playing squad, not just in the staff, the coaching team, who is that level-headed, who is that aware of the situation, and also who carries that kind of optimism with them?
I think any football team needs its leaders. And, you know, not 11 leaders. I think, you know, like any team, you need a sort of mixture, but you need some leaders throughout the team. And I look at people like Joe Jacobson, Adam Alab in particular, Matt Bloomfield in midfield, and when he comes on, Adebayo Akinfenwa as leaders. And they're the sort of people who just need to sit down and take stock. And I'm sure they will do when they're back in training. They'll say, let's just have a look, not just at the good bits, let's have a look at those bad bits. And someone like Adam Alab, who I'm sure, and in fact, I'm sure the highlights you can just see after they scored the first goal, puts his hands up. He knew he made the mistake. But why did they make the mistake? Where were the rest of the team? Because I think that whenever somebody makes a mistake, you've still got 10 other people who should be there compensating for you. So I think they'll have a very good look, the management team, at those goals and what allowed Doncaster to get back in the game. But at the end of the day, let's not forget the euphoria of winning when you're 2 down with 13 minutes to go. You know, you don't want to lose that. And as I said, that's why it's such a key turning point for the season, as long as they keep building on it.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Keith. Well, we're almost out of time here at the Chairboys. Just time to look at the league table. Wycombe currently sit 13th in the table, and we've got upcoming fixtures against Bristol Rovers and Plymouth Argyle. Keith, with those 2 fixtures in mind and with this result in mind and what a confidence boost it will be, do you see those two fixtures as very winnable games?
We all thought, Alex, that the 4 games over Christmas were winnable. And look what happened there, 4 defeats. So we don't look at any game that's winnable. But I think the key thing is that, as we said earlier, it's a turning point, but perhaps I ought to qualify that. It's a turning point as long as they get other good results under their belt straight away. Number of times we've seen sides get a win after a few defeats and then lose some more, and then all of a sudden you've now got 1 win out of 8 games or whatever. So they are 2 very important games for Wycombe. Their sides below them in the league. Can I actually refute one thing? Wycombe fans always say we play better against teams higher up in the league, and you may say look at the Doncaster game. But in fact, if you actually analyse the points they've got against teams above and below them, it's almost 50-50 split. So therefore, they are games that they really need to build on, because if they can get good results against Bristol Rovers and Plymouth, which are 2 teams below them, what it does mean is that it just pushes them further away from that bottom 4. And that's what it's all about for Wycombe this year. As I said earlier, if they get to mid-table, that'll be a great achievement. So let's see how they get on against those 2 games. I'm not going to say they're winnable, but they certainly need to make sure they get good results. Otherwise, today would have been a bit of a flash in the pan. Yeah, good momentum, always important. Well, that is just about all we've got time for here at the Chairboys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Keith for joining us, and we'll see you next time.